chatters out of the place. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarty. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. And today, friends, we've got a treat for you. Yes, we have a guest. And let's just let our guest in. It's the infamous Batman himself, otherwise known as Bruce Wayne. Here we go. We're letting him on in. I hope that you're all having a great evening tonight. And I'm going to share this out. And
hello, good sir. Can you hear me?
Hello, Mr. Wayne, or should I call you man as Batman?
You can call me Bruce. You can call me Wayne. You can call me Batman. Everybody does.
Okay. All right, I'm sharing this out. Feel free to share it out to all your other places you need to as well.
I absolutely will. The one problem I'm having right now is my earbuds did not click over. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get them to link.
Sure.
I may have to jump out and jump back in.
All right. Okay. All right. Oh, I like his Batman with a mustache. He's incognito, folks. He's incognito. You'll never know who he is. Why, with that mustache on, it could be anyone under that cowl, right? Yeah. Let's see who's here. Let's check the chat. Yeah, SRG Bruce and Catherine Watts, welcome to the program. Up 3, Gloria Paddock, hello there. And Aaron, hello, Aaron and Batman.
Very cool. Yeah, my earbuds aren't connecting, so I'm going to be just having to do this. You can hear me clear, right?
I can hear you perfect. Yeah. Hello, hello, Cajun Jules. And I think I mentioned everybody so far. So make sure you hit that thumbs up. That's the lucky number you get. I got number 5. That's my lucky number. It's your lucky number for a week. So we got Bruce Wayne here, otherwise known as Batman. So welcome to the program, Batman. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you very much. I am very happy to be here. I've been following you for quite some time now, since we both met up on Red Pill show, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah. Red Pill's great, man. That's where I get all my news.
Yeah, he's the man.
Red Pill 78. Yeah. If a company has banned him, it's not a good company. So
exactly.
Oh, you're defying gravity again. There you go. Oh, I thought we had the Joker's layer for there. It was tilted.
I was trying to get my earbuds to work, and I think turning it off and turning them back on synced them up nicely.
Okay,
so if I'm coming in a little too hot, let me know. I'll just lower my tone.
You sound great. So let's talk a little bit about Batman. I think, you know, because when I was a kid, of course, the 1966 Batman was all the rage, and really it was a civics lesson built into a fun TV show for kids. It made us all very civic minded. We want to be good citizens. Right?
Exactly. And I got to tell you, I have a little story about that, if you don't mind me jumping in real quick.
Sure.
1966, I was 2 years old. So now everybody knows that I'm an old fart. I started watching Batman with my parents in January of 1966, and we had an absolute blast. My parents were laughing at certain things that I didn't get because of the context of the show. And then I was laughing at things that my father or my mother might have gone, "Oh, that's cute." But I was like, "Oh, yeah, wow." You know, like I got into it. So for me, the introduction to Batman was the 66 TV show, and then I got into comic books. And then from comic books, I got into the action figures and the toys. But just to give you a quick preview, Does this man's name at the very bottom there look familiar to you?
Michael Uslan. Yeah. Yeah, that's
He
the
is the
guy,
producer.
right, of Batman. All Batman.
He's the producer of all movies Batman since 1989.
Wow.
I had the extreme pleasure of interviewing him personally. It was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't even have it here. I have a picture. I actually interviewed Adam West at a comic book
Wow.
convention
That's awesome.
in 1987, the week before I broke my neck, actually, in a diving
Broke your
accident.
neck?
I broke my neck.
How'd you break your neck?
I dove into Mauritius Bay and hit a sandbar 2 feet under the water and snapped my neck in a few places.
Oh my goodness. It wasn't from climbing the side of a building or anything, huh?
No, I wasn't pretending to be Batman. I was pretending to be Aquaman at that time.
Aquaman. Wow.
I dove into Mauritius Bay and I hit a sandbar 2 feet under the water and broke my neck.
They should pad the seabed there for people.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
If I can find the picture, I'll show you what I look like before I broke my neck.
My goodness. So are you shorter now or taller?
I've always been shorter. I've always been shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll never know my true height.
I don't know if this is going to come out on camera, but
yeah, I can see it.
This was me back in 1987.
Okay. It looks like you need a bigger shirt.
Yeah. Well, that's only one picture, but here's the one that everybody will get a kick out of.
Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. You look like Lou Ferrigno there.
Yep. That was 1982. That was high school.
Wow.
And so I was an amateur bodybuilder.
Oh,
yeah. All natural. I wouldn't take any kind of anabolics or anything. They didn't have anabolics back then.
Right. So what did you do? I was into bodybuilding too, and we got the universal bodybuilding kit. Did you get that
yes.
too?
Yes.
You did weight training and non-weight training. I did the non-weight training where you use your body weight.
Oh, okay. So that's isometrics.
Yeah.
You use the isometrics, which is what I did at home. But when I was in school, all throughout junior high and high school, I was able to go to the gym inside the school. We had a very well put together weight room. We had the universal machines, we had the Nautilus machines, we even had dead weights. And I was part of the 2 1/4 club. And you got a T-shirt if you were able to bench 225 pounds 3 times without crushing your windpipe or crushing your chest.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is a problem. Yeah.
So that was, everybody in the chats was saying hello, and I just want to read real quick, if you don't mind, just quick shout outs. Sly Park, my girl, how you doing? My Triple D is out there. Dark Brain, Gloria Paddock, Peggy Dancer, all my friends are out there. Very good to see you.
Yeah,
James Peach. Hey,
Daniel.
Very cool.
Awesome. Yeah,
Who's in Daniel?
Christina Love is in the house.
Christina Love, Catherine Wise,
Dark Brain.
SRG Sparky is in the house.
Yvonda.
Very cool.
A great name, Yvonda. Yeah.
Yuvonda. It's Yuvond. Yuvonda.
Right. Yuvonda. Something like that. I've talked to her. She's great. Cool gal.
Very cool. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience going through the motions, but we got sidetracked. I digress a lot. I apologize.
No worries.
In ADD, I tangent off so much.
It's easy to get distracted by our awesome chat because the chat is incredible. And I wish I could pay more attention to it, but then I wouldn't be able to ask good questions or, So I always see everyone's chats after when I'm doing the thumbnail. But so really Batman for me is Adam West. I mean, that first Batman that Michael Keaton was in, I heard that they had a different guy for Batman, a no-name guy. And at the last minute, the director said, this isn't going to work. His eyes aren't electric behind the mask. I need Keaton. But Keaton didn't fit in the suit and he was sloshing around. It wasn't until the next movie they built a suit his size because this suit was already made for the other dude. Did you ever hear that story?
I did not. As a matter of fact, I got to interview, being able to interview Michael Uslan. He didn't talk about that at all. As a matter of fact, he said that Michael Keaton was Tim Burton's main pick for the movie.
Okay.
So I never heard that other one. You may be referring to Pattinson's costume, because Pattinson actually just told a story recently where he had to try on all the different costumes from all the other movies previously.
No, I heard this a long time ago. And so who knows if it's true or not. I just thought I'd throw it out there. But
yeah, no, absolutely.
But I think, yeah, you're right. That 66 Batman, it was funny. It was campy. And the bad guys' layers, all they did was tilt the camera so it's crooked. But sometimes they reverse angles. Like, wait a minute, wasn't it tilted the other way before? But everything they did, it was so colorful. It was the most colorful show on TV. And
that's what grabbed people's attention.
Oh yeah, and the
Batmobile. Whole new way of
Batmobile was the deal maker for. And I somewhere here I have a couple of the little Hot Wheels. You can still buy them. They come there. Oh, that's cool.
This is the new one. They just came out with a tuned version of it. So it's a tuned version of the Batmobile.
Cool.
And so it's squattier and fatter.
Right. Yeah. It's like a penny
really
racer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like a penny racer.
Yeah.
And then I do have a really small one up here. It's like super micro on my shelf, but
oh wow.
This is the super micro one from Jada Toys.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's literally, this is the penny racer. This thing is probably a little bit bigger than a penny.
There's something so cool about that car. And my brother has a model like this big in his garage/museum. If you haven't seen my videos, scroll back to my brother's garage. I got like 3 videos, and
I will.
He's got a big one of the Batmobile, and right below it is the Futura, the Ford Futura, which they built a Batmobile.
Yes. Well, the 1955 Lincoln Futura was a concept car that made it to the car shows, and they made 3 different colors. They made a silver one, a white one, and a red one.
Yeah.
And you see, I think the red one and the white one in Kiss Me Goodbye is the old movie it was in.
I think so. But no, they painted it. They painted it. There wasn't more than one. There was just one. They painted it.
Oh, there was,
because it didn't show up.
Oh, really?
It didn't show up good enough on film. So they thought, oh, let's make it red. So they painted it red.
Okay.
So when Barris got it, it was already red and, faded, and he only paid $1 for it, I guess. But
yes, I actually got a chance to interview him. I interviewed George Barris in 2007 before he died, because Mattel, the toy company, had just found a way legally to get through the loopholes of being able to release the 1966 Batmobile in a die-cast action, vehicle. And I have one. I actually I keep one in a little Ziploc bag because it's one of the original ones from 2007. This is a later version of it, but this is the Hot Wheels version right here, and it's stamped on the bottom, 2007. But it was actually digitally scanned. They got a hold of Disney, because Disney owned the rights to ABC at that time already, because it was an ABC channel production, but it was 20th century. I'm sorry, it was an ABC broadcast, but it was a 20th Century Fox production. So you had 20th Century Fox, you had Disney, which owned ABC, and you had George Barris, who created the 66 Batmobile. So there was a 3-way license problem, and everybody was suing everybody for a period of almost 35 years before they were able to get it released, or 30 years before they were able to get it released again in 2007.
Wow. But well worth it. I mean, it's the coolest car ever, really, right?
It is the most recognizable car worldwide.
There's a guy making them, you can buy one. Yeah, he makes pretty good duplicates of it?
There's two gentlemen that make them. There's
Okay.
one guy out here on Long Island, and there's one guy up in, I want to say he's up in Oregon or Michigan. Mark
Okay.
Robcop, and Bat Rods LLC out here in Long Island, and you can find them both on Facebook. They're both on Facebook, and I happen to know both gentlemen very well, and because I'm here on Long Island myself, I would probably buy one, pardon me, from my friend. He has a trademark under Bat Rods, BATRODZ.
Okay.
And so his is 19 and a half inches long, and I'm sorry, 19 and a half feet long, and I forgot the width, but his is wider and longer than the original George Barris version.
Wow.
And that's how he was able to trademark his different from George Barris's.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. Why
it was really cool.
Every car should look like that by now. I mean, and they really, Ford had that design in 1955. That's
correct.
Very forward thinking for them to create something that, and I think if I'm remembering correctly, the designer wanted it to look like a shark. And so when Barris got a hold of it, they had to get rid of the shark look and make it look like a bat. So
he added a little bit more length to the fins going forward instead of going backwards. So he made them look like bat wings coming from the driver's and passengers' doors.
Right.
Whereas the 55 Futura stopped it started behind the back doors, the back of the door, instead of all the way towards the front. And it looks like somebody in your chat, one of your chatters' uncles worked on one of the original Batmobiles.
Oh, my uncle did some body work on the Batmobile from a TV show. Got pictures of my dad sitting in it as a kid, and it was in the shop. Wow. That's cool.
That's cool. That's freaking cool.
You know what's cool? On your show the other day, now you have a show called Nerds in the Bar. But
I have a YouTube channel called Nerds in a Bar.
Okay.
So it's Nerds in a Bar. We have our own website, nerdsin-a-bar.com, and we do videotapings and reviews where basically, I guess you could say we're digital influencers on pop culture. And we do interviews with all kinds of people, and we do a couple of different segments called Mark's Hat, because Mark's my first name, but I go by Batman Mark on my YouTube channel for Nerds in a Bar. And we do interviews, and I interviewed Michael Uslan and a bunch of other people as well.
Here's the link. I'm dropping it into the chat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Nerds in a Bar. And one of the guys went up with his wife to the actual Bat Cave. Was really a tunnel.
Okay, that's the other show that I tag along with.
Right.
So
okay.
that's another show on the Foxhole.app where we talk about pop culture and beer as well, and that's called Three Beermen, and you can find us by going to 3 beer BEER men MEN no spaces .tv, 3beermen.tv. That's the other website you can go to find our broadcasts. And with that, they do shows on Thursdays and Sunday evenings on the Foxhole, and that's totally separate from Nerds in the Bar. Is my fun pop culture, I get to geek out real hard, real fast on Nerds in the Bar. And with this other show that I'm with my friends on the Foxhole, we talk about beer and pop culture. And yes, Norm, one of our friends from one of our 3 beermen, went to the Bat Cave with his girlfriend, fiance, soon to be wife, and they took pictures of it, being in front of it, being around it, and they showed how they had it all gated off. And that was a lot of fun. I really appreciated, because I asked him, I said, you live near that? Can you get pictures for me? So he went and he took pictures of it for me. He still has yet to send me the pictures. So Norm, if you're out there listening, damn it, send those pictures to my phone, will you?
They were going to go inside, but the rocks were falling. It says beware of falling rocks. So it's not exactly.
It's not supported or safe anymore. It's kind of been a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for putting those links out there for everybody to check out.
It doesn't look, they must have changed the highways too, because the road doesn't look like it goes right near it anymore.
They put a lot of gravel and sand down apparently near it, and they're trying to keep people away from it. Now, I don't know which side of the Bat Cave they were on, but it's not a cave. It's actually a tunnel.
Right.
It actually goes all the way through, and you come out on each side of the mountain that it actually appears in. And so I don't know if they did anything to firm it up originally when they first had it, or if back then it just was so, I guess you're talking 1966.
A long time ago, yeah.
It's a long time ago.
A lot of earthquakes ago.
Yeah, so there's been some shakeups, you know?
Yeah.
Talking Batman is 80 years old last year, right?
Wow.
1939, I'm sorry, 4 years ago. 2019, Batman was 80 years old. And then you've got.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Go ahead. No, I interrupted you. Go ahead. You said you got.
So you're talking about a comic book character that's 80 plus years old, and they made a TV show out of the comic books in 1966. And one of the points that I forgot to make when I was talking about my interviewing with Michael Uslan, the Batman's Batman, he had a story where he actually was very upset when he first saw the 1966 TV show, because he's a few years older than us. I think he's like 8 years older than us. So when he saw it, he got very upset that everybody was laughing at his Batman, and he wanted to make Batman dark and noir the way Batman's supposed to be. So Michael Uslan had his lifelong dream come true in 1989 when he was able to make the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton Batman, the Batman movie. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and actually, there was part of it where they stole from the '66 show. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't the Joker go and he was spraying in the museum just like in one of the episodes on the '66 Batman?
Yes. It was. That's right. Yes. Where I think.
Go ahead.
I think Caesar Milan dressed up as Palmia. What was that clown he dressed up as? And then they used the mask, the same mask that the Joker wore in that episode. They used in the Heath Ledger movie, and he wore that same style mask.
Okay.
Wow. Little trivia for you there on Batman.
Yeah, and Cesar Romero, when he originally got the part in the '66 Batman for Joker, they wanted him to shave off his mustache. He said, no. So they painted his mustache white, and it didn't look bad. It looked kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it looked really cool, and they put enough pancake makeup on it to get it white that you really didn't pay attention to the mustache because he was so busy.
Yeah.
His cackle, his lip would curl, and you really wouldn't even see the mustache.
He was great. I mean, the actors were so good in that. They were all just stellar. And boy, I keep trying to get Burt Ward onto the show, but I think you have to go through his manager or something. But
which one was that? Which actor?
Burt Ward.
I actually have Burt Ward's personal cell phone number. Burt Ward, I have a separate business unto myself that's not related to Batman in any way, shape, or form. It's an old family business that I took over almost 35 years ago. My father had started it back in the late 60s and converted an old dog kennel breeding facility into one of the premier pet hotels in the New York tri-state area.
Nice.
And So working with dogs, I don't know if you know that Burt Ward and his wife Tracy rescue Great Danes. They rescue a lot of dogs, but mostly Great Danes.
The Canine
And
Crusaders, yeah.
exactly. And I wound up rescuing a Great Dane that I had a lot of difficulty with in the very beginning. And he and I had a few discussions about it. And let's just say it didn't end well.
Oh.
So I don't talk to Burt Ward anymore, but not that I wouldn't. I just don't have any need or a desire at this time to bother him. I enjoyed him, when they brought him into the Arrowverse, or into the, when they did that whole Infinity Earth saga on TV.
Okay.
It's the Green Arrow. They did the Green Arrow show. They did WB has was it CW, the CW channel now, which is 11, and they did a whole bunch of DC comic relevant superheroes on live action, and it was great. They did a nice job. They had the Flash, they had the Arrowverse, they had the Justice League, or not the Justice League, but a version of the Justice League, time traveling into the future, into the past, and doing all kinds of adventures.
Neat.
But that is going by the wayside. And now that they're bringing the multiverse into the movies, you're going to see Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck in the same movie, both portraying different versions of Batman from different Earths.
Oh wow!
Different Earth universe,
That's cool.
Earth multiverses, as they're calling it. Same thing that Marvel's doing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't like what they did. I don't like what these modern movie makers did when they pitted Batman against Superman. I thought that was a stupid idea. You never pit two good guys against each other. That just goes against being a good guy,
Let me ask you a question. Based on that presumption, right? Did you ever read the story by Frank Miller?
Oh yeah.
The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
That's what that story arc was kind of based off of. I'm sorry, that's what that part of the movie segment was based off of. They pulled from Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. They pulled from a bunch of different, there you go. Exactly. That's what they pulled from. So they wanted to make it.
Clint Eastwood should have played that Batman.
Yes, I agree. Because they make it Ben Affleck, who's supposedly in his 40s now, and he's done being Batman. He really doesn't want to be Batman anymore. So he's more Bruce Wayne, and he's taking care of Wayne Tech and Wayne Enterprises and trying to develop his business, where he's able to use his money to do cybersecurity. There was a couple of different aspects to that they could have branched out on a little bit more. But if you ever want to see a really well done version of the Justice League, you got to watch the Zack Snyder version of the Justice League, because unfortunately he started making the movie, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but unfortunately his daughter committed suicide while they were in the middle of making the movie because she felt like she was being ignored, unfortunately. And so to get her parents' attention, she unfortunately killed herself.
Oh my God.
She was like 18 or 19 years old.
That's so sad.
And And so Zach and his wife, who were both producers on the movie for the original Justice League, had to bow out, and they gave it to Joss Whedon. And Joss Whedon did a terrible, and I hate to say this, did a terrible job of finishing off what they had originally started. And I felt bad, for the actors, because they had such this dramatic switch going from Zach's ideas to Joss Whedon's ideas. And there are some stories out there about Joss Whedon that I'm not going to touch on, but I do want to say that it was good of Warner Brothers to allow Zack Snyder to redo the movie he was meant to make.
Yeah.
And the Zack Snyder cut is probably by far one of the best team movies you're ever going to want to see. Of course, outside of the Avengers, that everybody's,
Mhm.
purporting to be the best team movie. I still think the Zack Snyder Justice League was a better team movie because they were ragtags. They didn't want to be together, and then all of a sudden they had to pull together. So it was
Yeah.
really well done, and they did a phenomenal job with that. And I was just looking in the chats, and I see that Sharia Ryu loves Three Beermen and is a big fan of my buddy
Awesome.
Hang Ten Alien Surfer, who goes by the name Norm. So, AKA Hang Ten Alien Surfer and Norm are the same person.
Oh, really?
So really cool.
That's interesting.
And up 3, just threw some trivia out there without looking at your chat. Oh, you're looking at it already.
Okay, I'm not looking.
What is Adam West's real name?
Adam West's real name?
Adam West is just a stage name.
Oh. Bruce East.
William Adam Weston.
William.
I'm sorry, Anderson. William West Anderson. I'm sorry, William West Anderson. I'm getting confused by it. William West Anderson is Adam West's real name, and I think West was his mother's maiden name. So they came out with a little. Adam West lived in Idaho for the longest time. He had a ranch out in Idaho.
Okay.
And in 1989 or 1990, around the time of the first big Batman movie with Michael Keaton, he took out white page ads and yellow page ads in the Idaho phone book. Now, do you remember phone books?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't know how many of our audience remembers what a phone book is. Now everybody just picks up their phone and goes to Google and types in a name and a number or a number and looks it up. But there used to be phone books.
Oh, yeah. And there used to be
Walla Walla, Washington, up 3. Look at that. That's where he was originally born, was Walla Walla, Washington. Up 3. Wow, you're deep in Adam. I love that. You're deep in Adam country up there.
And here's a trivia question for you all, which you all will probably know. What popular cartoon was Adam West featured in?
I'm not saying a word.
Using his real name. Well, his real stage name, I guess.
Absolutely.
Let's see if anyone can guess that one.
And he was on that show many episodes for many years. And they even created an action figure.
That's right.
From the series, and I have one back in my office. And in that TV series, he married his hand.
That's right. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's goofy. Not the Simpsons, Peggy Dancer. Close on that one.
He was in The Simpsons, but he was in The Simpsons as Batman and Adam West.
Oh.
But he had a reoccurring role. He was on The Simpsons. He was on The Simpsons a few episodes, but he didn't have a reoccurring role on The Simpsons. He did have a reoccurring role on another show, a cartoon that you're talking about.
Family Guy. Terry Hopper got it. Good one, Terry Hopper.
There we go. Very cool. Very cool. So yes, he played the mayor of Quahog.
Yeah.
He played the mayor of Quahog.
Adam West, and he was kind of a quirky character. They made him really quirky. That's so cool that they got him to do it. It was neat to hear him talking. Did you ever see the movie that he and Burt Ward did for Dawn Wells? I think she produced it or directed it. And it was Adam West playing Adam West and Burt Ward playing Burt Ward. And they go to this like fundraiser thing for the children or something. And the Batmobile is there and the lights go out and the Batmobile's gone. And now Adam West and Burt Ward are trying to figure out who took. Did you see that?
No.
Oh my God, you gotta see it. You gotta see it. It's fantastic because Dawn Wells doesn't exist anymore. She passed away, sadly. Mary Ann.
What is the name of the movie?
Oh, I can't remember, but my buddy Google keeps all that information. It just, you put
Dawn Wells, Dawn.
Dawn Wells, yeah, she played, she was on Gilligan's Island. She was Mary Ann. Dawn Wells. Yeah, I can't
Dawn
remember.
Wells,
It's a
actress.
really, really cool show. And they do solve the crime. It's very, very well done.
Yeah. Yeah, she just passed away just recently,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Now there's only one Gilligan's Island person left, and that's Ginger. So I think if we get a boat, we can still save her.
Very good.
That's what I told my mom when I was a kid. I said, Mom, we need to get a boat. I think I know where they are. I really wanted to go and save them.
Oh, Return to the Batcave.
Return to the Batcave. Yes, that's it. Brilliant.
I do know that. I don't remember the premise of it. I haven't watched it in such a long time, but I do remember seeing it. I didn't know that was Dawn Wells.
Yes, yes. And did you know that during Gilligan's Island, when they were filming it, when they were not filming it, like they were backstage and stuff, Dawn Wells was constantly taking home movie footage. And she always talked about, oh, someday she's going to do some festival where she shows all these films. It never happened, sadly. But it'd be fun to dig up that old footage and look at, silent movies of, behind the scenes at Gilligan's Island, because that was another great show. Great show.
Yeah, yeah. There was talk of revisiting it and trying to remake it.
Yeah. I heard how Sherwood Schwartz thought of the name. He looked through, I think it was a New York phone book, and he was looking for the funniest last name he could find, and it was Gilligan, because he wanted people, when they're looking through the listings, he wanted people to know it was a comedy just by the name of it, Gilligan's Island.
Okay, that's interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, and that
I
only
love the
lasted
trivia.
3 years, 3 seasons. Same with Batman.
Right.
They came out. Go ahead.
They came out, I think, almost the same year, 66, didn't they?
No, I
Or
think
was Gilligan's Island a year later, 67?
Gilligan's Island, actually, when they're filming the original Gilligan's Island, the black and white one for the first season, in the beginning, you'll see when they're taking off from port, you can see a flag at half staff. That's when Kennedy was shot.
Oh my God.
So I think it was 64 when they started, possibly. I don't know.
Yes, 64. 64, you're right. Wow. Yeah, I was born in 64, the year Kennedy was shot. What month was that he was shot? Do you remember?
Well, I was born in 62, so I do remember seeing it on TV, but I don't remember too much from back then. But I remember seeing it on TV, and I was devastated by it. That's the day America died.
Yeah, indeed.
That's the day the evil people took over.
November 22nd, 1963.
November 22nd. Yeah, that's my dad's birthday, actually. November 22nd.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 63. Wow.
Now,
Wow.
But now, Batman, getting back to Batman, I've always thought that Batman has such appeal, partly because any child could conceivably grow up to be Batman.
Exactly.
Because Batman doesn't have any superpowers. He has gadgets and intellect. And something we all have today, a bat computer.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy we have bat computers. I always wanted a bat computer.
We have them in our hands. We carry them with us everywhere we go now.
I know, we could solve all the crimes.
That's it.
They really could solve all crimes. I mean, satellites taking pictures constantly, right? So all they got to do is rewind the tape back. Okay, let's see who robbed the bank. They went to this house. They changed cars. They went here. Oh, let's go get them. They could solve every crime.
Absolutely. Rewind that videotape.
If they weren't, yeah, be kind. Rewind. Remember that?
Yes, I do. There was a Blockbuster Video right next door to me at the by the pet hotel for years until they started slowly closing one by one by one, gone by the wayside.
You know what? When I was still in high school, I I really wanted to be a superhero in real life. And I thought, okay, I got to get me a jetpack. And I was going to be Jet Man. And I was going to have like a bulletproof outfit and I was going to go around saving people. And I contacted the Navy because they're the ones with the jetpacks.
Okay.
And they would not give me any information. They just gave me the runaround. But yeah,
How old were you?
I was in high school still. But I was
And but you were tinkering back then, and you used to do some, didn't you work on automotives as well?
oh yeah. Well, my first car was the Ratmobile. Did you ever see that?
No, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, do you want to?
I would love to. The Ratmobile.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ratmobile. Let's see. Okay. All right. Here's the Ratmobile. Oh, this is a pretty cracked up old photo. I'll dig up a better one. But there it is in all its glory.
Wow.
In the front, there's flames. There's
See that?
a mural here of orange rat with a blonde at his arm in this car coming out the top of the shifter. And there's a picture of the rat Fink here. And I got lightning bolts in the back, like the greased lightning car.
Yes.
And I had dingle balls and fun fur inside. This was a 60 Rambler with a fully reclining bench seat, which they marketed as the travel bed.
The travel bed.
You can save money at hotels. You don't have to go to a hotel. You sleep in your Rambler.
That's great. That's wild.
I paid.
It's funny. You talk about Rat Fink.
Yeah.
I collect hat pins. And part of my Nerds in the Bar shtick is I do a trivia segment called Mark's Hat. And all of my hats are adorned with pins and patches. And I have on this specific hat, let's see if I can do this right here. Hold on a second. Just raise this light up a little bit. So this is the Batmobile right here. Okay. And I've got Marge Simpson on the hood of it.
Oh my. Oh, that's risky.
And I've got some rock and roller on the back of it. But then right here in front, I have my Rat Fink pin.
Rat Fink. Wow.
I have my Rat Fink pin. Yeah. I actually met a guy at one of the comic conventions recently, last year, 2 years ago. No, last year, after they reopened conventions. They opened up New York Comic Con for last year. And so we went. And I bumped into a guy that is on YouTube and on Facebook. And I'm trying to remember his name, but he sells all kinds of Rat Fink paraphernalia and memorabilia. And I wish I remembered his name because I can't find him in my phone again. I got to go looking him up. But he had the licensing rights to Rat Fink.
Wow.
So he was producing patches and pins and all kinds of really cool stuff. So he had given me that hat pin as a present. I bought a ton of collectibles from him. He had a bunch of toys as well as magnets. And he had the old magnets from the TV shows and from the movies and from the comic books. And he had a plethora of Batman ones. So I bought it. That's just awesome. I love that car.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to it? I'm really curious.
It only lasted for one summer, the Summer Rat 78. I paid $40 for it. And it had a push button transmission. It did not have, I went to go change the oil when I first bought it, or change the oil filter, and there was a plate over where the oil filter goes. It was optional that year. So it only lasted that one summer. But I got
Oh,
my
wow.
40 bucks. I got my 40 bucks worth out of it. But you got to see my brother's car that he built, because he was friends with Big Daddy Roth. He bought a bunch of his cars and refurbished them. Then he built this one. He designed it and built it
So your
himself.
brother's a diehard car collector.
Check this out.
Oh my God. What is that? The Beatnik, right?
That's the Futurian. That's my brother's.
Oh, the Futurian. That's wild.
It's Roth approved.
Wow.
He blew the bubble and everything. And now my brother,
That's wild.
he had the road agent. He refurbished the road agent. He had the Rotar. He had a couple of the other cars that Roth did. He totally brought them back to normal, to original. And he would talk about my brother in his article. He said, this crazy guy from Minnesota keeps calling me up and asking me what two paints I mixed together to paint some car in 1961. How am I supposed to remember? But yeah, that's the Futurian. And boy, like I said, if you want to see this, he also built an exact duplicate clone of the what was it? Oh God, I can't remember the name of it now. It's a Roth car, the Outlaw. He did an exact duplicate clone of the Outlaw. So you watch those videos, you'll see it. But
okay, Mad Pog said something in the chat that it does resemble the Beatnik Bandit. That's exactly the car I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Mad Pog is all over that.
It does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And Susan Daniels put out there, my dear girlfriend, Susan Daniels, I don't know if you know her well.
She's been on, I've seen her in the chat a few times. Yes. She seems like a very great person.
She is an amazing person. She is a chainsaw carver.
Oh,
she
really?
does chainsaw art. She carves wood and makes them into bears, butterflies, whatever. She has offered to make me, and it was in your chats, so I have proof now. She offered to make me a 66 Batmobile wood carving.
Oh my goodness.
Looking forward to that. Oh, you're showing off my stuff now. Here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are the prototypes that I designed for Mattel Toys back in, oh my God, I don't even remember. It was after 2005. So was it 2006 or two? Yeah, I think it was 2006.
Okay.
Mattel took the license away from Hasbro.
Okay.
Hasbro let the license lapse, and Mattel jumped in there and grabbed it from them. Wow. And if you remember, actually, back in 1988.
Yeah.
They let the license go once before. And do you remember who grabbed up the license for Batman and DC Comics? In 88, 89?
Was it Toy Biz? No.
Yes.
Toy Biz.
Yes.
I knew those guys. I knew those guys. And you know who I also met? Avi Arad.
Avi Arad. So I knew Avi Arad. I actually had his cell number years ago when he just started taking over Marvel Productions. Yeah,
he just I was at Toy Fair the year he also had the was it the Harley Davidson Cafe license?
Yeah, that's right.
And so we were there he was throwing a party at Toy Fair there. And so me and my buddy Tony Pagani went there. But we weren't invited. Avi Arad called us over. Hey, you guys, come over here. We're like, oh, okay. He goes, how'd you guys get in here? Oh, we just heard there was a party. It was invitation only. And we're like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this guy has killed people. He was in the Israeli army. Okay. Okay, we're sorry. He goes, that's okay. You can stay. Whoa. We were like, whoa, that was cool.
That's cool.
Sweating bullets there for a while, but that was great. Nice guy. Turns out to be a really nice guy. But
he is. I've had a couple of conversations with him during toy fairs, and he had given me his business card, and I had called him in his office a couple of times to get some information out of him, because before I did Nerds in a Bar, I was working for several different news agencies back then, you know, toy industry related. There was Lee's Action Figure News Review. There was Tomart's Action Figure magazine. So those are the actual production pieces right there that were done from the prototypes that you showed first.
Really? They
Go
changed
back,
the
if you go,
They changed the
if you go back, well,
Yeah.
go back to the original ones. I'll show you something real quick.
Oh, I just
Go back to the first picture.
closed it out. I'm trying to save.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get it back again.
Find the picture with Captain America standing next to the Batman figure.
Captain.
I sent you a plethora of pictures. I'm sorry.
Right. Oh, a new one, not the one we just saw.
Okay.
Not the one we just saw. Which one are you telling me to look for? I'm trying.
The very first picture you showed, which was the Batman and Robin figure side by side. Those were both my prototype ones.
Right.
This is the production pieces.
Right.
These are the production pieces that you're actually showing now. And the ones before that were the prototypes I designed to show them what they could do with these figures. And if you find the one with the Captain America figure, you can see where I took Captain America and I made him into Batman. So I had to do a lot of shaving, a lot of sanding, a lot of buffing to get the boot cuffs off of the Captain America figure. I had to shave the wings off of the side of his helmet. I had to sand down his ears, and I had to Bondo and putty ears onto him and cover the ears up in order to paint it. So I used to do a lot of that customizing work back in the day. And another friend of mine who did the same thing, we called it customizing back then, or Frankensteining. There you go. So you see the Captain America figure to the left?
Right. Okay, yeah.
That was my original base model that I used to make the Batman figure on the right.
I got you. A lot of Sculpey too, I bet, huh?
A lot of Sculpey. Actually, before I got into Sculpey, I was using Bondo, automobile Bondo.
You know what works good with Bondo? We used to do this at Hasbro. And you can pour it. You can mix Bondo with the stuff for fiberglass resin. Mix that together.
Oh, no way.
Then you can pour it into a cup, into like a mold, like a silicone mold.
Yeah.
We used to do that all the time. We also used to use Gelatong, Gelatong for a wood to carve. It's a real easy to carve wood. It's actually a grass from somewhere in Asia, but it's really easy to carve. There's no grain to it. And it's a little.
How thick would you get? How thick would the grass be?
It's thick. I mean, I've seen big chunks of it. I mean, it grows like wood.
And it's grass.
Technically, it's a grass, but it's a little bit heavier than balsa wood, more substantial, good for vacuum forming and everything.
That's wonderful.
Also,
these are all the tricks. Go ahead.
I've used what is it? Taxidermy foam too. Taxidermy foam for making bigger things.
Right. Sure.
You can sculpt that with 80 grit sandpaper. You can do a number on it. You can sculpt anything you want.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that one. Okay.
So yeah, I sent you a bunch of pictures of my personal collection in my showcases in my office.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Let's see.
So I've been collecting since I was about 6 or 7 years old when my mom brought me my very first Batman action figure. And quick story about that. My first action figure was a Mego Batman action figure.
Cool.
And my dad, when my mom first bought it, my dad said to her, "There's another custom figure, okay?" So the one in front was my prototype, and then Mattel went and did the one behind it.
All right.
And I was using Toy Biz body parts and Bondo to create the figures that I was making.
Okay.
I still like mine better than theirs. But that's Nightwing, who was the original Dick Grayson Robin. then later in the comic books became Nightwing.
Wow.
But on my train of thought.
Okay, I'm getting some of your other pictures up here.
There you go.
Thought I loaded them, but they didn't load them, so I'm loading them. So that should
Oh, I'm sorry.
do it. That's okay. It's no
Oh, so
work.
I was talking about my Mego figure. So my very first Mego figure that my mom bought me, she'd bought for either my birthday or for Hanukkah. I forgot what it was. And she was showing my dad all the presents that she got for me and my sisters. And my father turns to my mother and goes, "Why did you buy our son a doll?"
Oh yeah.
And my mother turns to him and goes, "Jack, it says right here on the package, they're action figures."
Oh yeah.
And that was it. So I wanted to always create a t-shirt that said, "They're not dolls, they're action figures."
That's
with,
right.
with a husband and wife talking to each other and holding up one of the toys.
Mhm.
So, okay, here you go. The one on the right, you can see is my prototype of Deathstroke. The one on the left was the one that came out from Mattel a few years later.
Okay. Wow. Very good.
I was using a Captain America figure for that one as well. Captain America is so versatile for customizing.
Mhm.
It was
Okay.
amazing how many Captain America figures I used to customize other figures into.
All right. Interesting. Why didn't do that?
Now, you said you worked for the toy industry for a long time.
Yeah, I worked at Hasbro, and I worked also at Tonka Toys and half a dozen invention firms.
Yeah, so you said. I love that. I was
At,
so blown away by that when I first heard that you were in the toy industry, and we
yeah.
probably bumped into each other at one point, during the toy fair shows, because I've been attending toy fairs since '88.
Wow. Yeah, I've been going since the early 80s, but not every
Well,
year.
you got
Some
it.
years don't go. Some years.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
So, what other images were you able to load? Do you have
okay.
any of the showcases? Do you have any of
Yeah,
my showcases that have the?
yeah, I thought I loaded those, but they didn't. They're just on a different screen. So here's this one. Is it showing? Wait a minute. That's not it. Is that it? No. I got too many things open here. Let me see if I can. And my
Sorry, I overloaded you with pictures.
computer's starting to go slower, so I have to close some things. I'm at that point with my computer now. I'm freezing up.
Right.
So I apologize. Yeah. Nothing's happening. So there we
That's
are.
pretty wild. Somebody in the chats had mentioned that up 3, Adam West was from my hometown, my classmate's uncle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Very cool.
I didn't know Adam West had any siblings. And the Hawk. Squawk to the Hawk if you're still out there, brother. The Hawk is also on our show on the Three Beermen.
Oh yeah?
Yep. He's our resident deer bird.
These aren't showing up. Why isn't it showing up? Okay, my computer's giving me a hard time here. I'm trying to get that image that I just had up again, and it's not.
That's all right. If you can't show them, that's okay. Another day, another time.
Well,
I really overloaded you with images. I apologize. I sent you like 3 or 4 emails with like over 30 images
that's
from my
okay. That's
showcases.
okay. It's definitely my fault for not having adequate memory. I've been having problems for a while, and I am about to order a new computer and some other things that might help me. And so, but I'm just me here, and
I love what you do, and I got to tell you, I think you need to talk to some people over at the Foxhole. Hey, Foxhole, if you're listening, because I would love to get you over there and stream on our platform as well. You'd have so much fun.
I would love to go on the Foxhole. I would love
You
to.
have Red Pill 78's number.
Yep.
You should tell him that you and I were talking, and
Well,
that
he's
you're
been
interested
encouraging
in.
me to do that too. Yes, he's been encouraging me to do that too. But I just really need to get. Obviously, I need a new computer. I can't stream to more than one place at a time with my
Oh, okay.
the way it is right now. So it doesn't make any sense for me to get on there if I can't. I don't know. So I've got a lot of challenges here, and I've had a lot of help from my listeners, and so I did. One of my listeners, Q Trendsetter, sent me some money for some new equipment, and I'm honing in on exactly what I need to get, and hopefully I'll get the right thing. It's so hard.
That'll be good.
So hard to get
That'll be great.
companies to tell you if the thing is going to work. Oh, if it's not right, just send it back. No, I'm not going to play that send it back game.
Right.
Will work with my computer.
Exactly.
Nobody knows anything these days. It's so frustrating. So here's your part of your collection. Wow, look at all that.
Yeah, this is one side of the showcase. It's actually 4 giant segments. It spans 16 feet total length and 4 feet high, and it sits on top of cabinets.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, it's really cool. And there's right there in the middle, as you're looking, you'll see there's a whole series of those figures that I customized on the left side, second shelf from the top, under all the bigger figures above. But I have a bunch of statuettes underneath that from Diamond Select.
Yeah, nice.
And then on the bottom, I have some other statuettes from other companies.
Catwoman.
Yep. A couple of different Catwomen.
Yeah.
There's the Mondo Catwoman on the right. That's the Julie Newmar Catwoman, and then the one on the left is the comic book purple costume Catwoman.
Julie Newmar was the best, I think.
She was
incredible.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen her stay on the show and continue doing more, but unfortunately, she got a gig doing what she loves, and she's a dancer. That's what she was. She was a dancer by trade. And so was Yvonne Craig.
Oh, yeah. Batgirl.
Do you remember?
Batgirl.
That's right. Now, do you remember what character she played on Star Trek?
Oh, yeah. What was it? No, I can't remember now. Oh, the Green Girl? She was the Green Girl.
The Martian slave girl. She was the Martian slave girl dancing for Captain Kirk.
You know what? I've got a funny story about that.
Tell me, please.
Have you seen my interviews with Corey Good?
I've seen a couple of them, yes.
Okay, he's a secret space program whistleblower. Okay,
yes.
He's in alliance with these higher realm beings, and he was at this super federation.
Aaron, if you can hear me, you froze, brother.
Meeting with all these different extraterrestrials, some other human.
You keep freezing, Aaron.
Hello?
Yeah, there you are. Okay.
Something
as soon as you, don't mention his name again, because as soon as you mentioned his name, you froze. The whole screen froze up. Mr. CG.
Oh, really?
Dude, you froze up. You froze up on the stream. You froze up on Zoom. You went totally blank as soon as you mentioned Mr. CG and his affiliations and his programs. Dude, whoa. That was weird.
Over the target, baby. We're over the target.
Bam.
You know, someone forgot to tell the bad guys that the good guys always win. They
Yeah,
always
indeed.
win. The good guys always win. So, to all you people,
because we have God on our side.
yeah,
Have faith. Keep doing what you do. Don't stop doing what you do, but always have faith in Hashem. Always have faith in God.
and be yourself. But if you can be Batman, be Batman.
And I am Batman every day.
Batman is like it's the perfect person or superhero that a kid could actually, you know, conceivably become in older age, because you can't be Superman. You're not born on Krypton, right?
Right. Now, here's a very interesting and unique story. Again, back to my buddy, my pal, the Batman's Batman, Michael Uslan.
Okay.
I was having a conversation before we got into our interview, and he always had this. I don't know if you don't know the man, but you have to get to meet him, and you have to listen to his book. Read it or listen to it. I like audibles because I'm ADD. I can read the same page 100 times and I'll never get it. But the story goes as such. He was the first person, the first professor to create a college course program on comic books and the mythos of superheroes, because he was able to convince the dean of his university that the modern day superhero comic book characters are the modern day mythos of Greek gods. They are our gods. They are our. So he started talking to his the dean of administration to prove his point, and so he was like, you know, this one is that and that one is this, and so I went to him and I was like, okay, who's Batman in your Greek mythology theory? And he goes, Batman is you and me, because Batman is human and anybody can be Batman. And I was like, yes,
Yes.
that was it.
That
so
is
it was
man.
beautiful.
That's it. I want to thank James Rohrback for the super chat for the new computer and the praying and the cross. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And
so
he
much.
just put out in the chat, I am Batman.
Yes. We all are.
Yes, I am, James Rohrback. Yes, I am.
Bat time, same bat channel. And you know, there was something magical about that cowl he wore. I mean, there was something really cool about it. And I remember as a kid, I used to think if I could only have a cowl like that, I could be Batman. You know, it was just
If you go through,
powerful thing for a whole.
It was. As a matter of fact, hold on 1 second. It's hiding, but it's hiding here under Baby Yoda's hand. Baby Yoda's going to fall. This is a Ruby costume, rubber and silk version of the Adam West mask.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
It's actually over another mask. I got the Nightwing mask underneath it.
Wow.
See if I can take this off carefully.
Now the original one was made, the original one looked like it was made out of fabric, some kind of.
It was made out of a silk. It was made out of a silk and a polyfiber, but this one is rubber in the front and then cloth in the back. So when you put it on, it forms out the back of your head, and the rubber. I had to cut out the eyelets a little bit more because they were too tight and they were poking into my eyes.
Okay.
Because it is a small mask.
Yeah.
But
wow, look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is the low end Adam West Batman costume, and they have a much higher end version. And if you want to do it right, then you have to get either the Mattel version of the Adam West mask, which I do have, and I sent you a picture of it in one of my emails.
Okay, let me see.
But I will someday own one of those Batmobiles for sure. Whether it's a knockoff version or something, I will own one.
Oh
someday.
yeah, me too, man. It's too cool for school. Very. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that one.
I sent you a bunch. My mainstay of my collection is the Batmobile replicas, multiple Batmobile replicas that you'll see in many of the pictures. The action figures of both Batman and as his alter ego, Bruce Wayne, which if you think about it and you've followed the movies or any of the comic books, Batman isn't the mask. Bruce Wayne is the mask.
Right.
Batman is who he always is.
Right. But, you know, as a kid, you look at the accoutrements.
Absolutely.
And when I was a kid, I got a desk for Christmas one year, like a little desk. And I thought that now I was going to be as smart as a teacher because I have a desk. So that's just how kids think, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, when I was going through these earlier, and I just saved them to my desktop. I hope everything goes smoothly with this. But I had to stop at this one. Uh-oh, we're frozen up again.
Yeah, you froze up again.
Yeah. Trying to do.
Peggy dancers out there saying some cat burglar might steal my Batmobile.
That's right. Yeah, you got to be careful because you can't lock those up very good.
That's it.
Jump right in. Okay, I think it's going to work now. All right.
So while you're doing that, James Rohrbach asked a question of me. He
Okay.
said, did I wear any of those masks during COVID?
Oh, yeah. You should have.
I did not, because I don't believe in wearing masks. And so I didn't wear any mask.
Good for you.
This is my mask. This
is
my mask. My mustache is my mask.
Did you see my Invisimask video?
You did something about that on Red Pill Show one day.
Yeah, I made
a couple of videos.
I made a couple of videos and it's pretty good. But yeah, it's made of nanoparticles. I could have made millions, but I teleported one to everyone's face. Everyone has one. So
there you go.
It's not every day you can save the human race, but I did. So there you go.
Oh, and Mud Rabbit just came into the chats. How are you doing, Mud Rabbit?
Hey,
Good
Mud.
to see you there.
Awesome. And Vince Common.
Vince Common. Yeah. Peggy Dancer, Vince Common, Mud Rat. They're all out there now.
Yeah. Okay, so I got this. It's starting to work again. I just have to keep closing things as I show them. Oh,
okay.
Well, I'm ahead of myself again. Here we go. It's a two-step process.
James Rohrbach asked if it's Invisimask or the Lone Ranger mask.
Oh, the Lone Ranger mask? No, the Invisimask is made out of nanoparticles and it works with your immune system. It doesn't inhibit.
That's right.
Does not inhibit your breathing, and you can eat with it. It's self-cleaning. Never need to take it off. Doesn't pull your ears. I think there's going to be a lot of ear surgeries, placing the ears back where they should go because people have stretched them. This is the picture that I had to stop at, and just admire for a while. Here we are.
Okay, so
Batcave.
that is Factory Entertainment's desktop model of the 1966 Adam West Batcave. And
awesome.
That model, I actually helped the designer place the computers and the everything where it should be.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We had to look at thousands of pictures that we were digging up off the internet, and I was emailing back and forth. And I got this. I had to pay something for it, but the retail price on that was astronomical, and it was given to me partially as a gift. I did have to pay for some of it, but it came with the sign that said 14 miles to Gotham City.
Awesome.
Gotham City limits 14 miles.
Now Gotham
And
is another name for New York. Gotham is another name for New York, right?
Exactly.
It is New York City, even though they filmed
Basically,
it in Hollywood. They filmed it in Hollywood.
that is correct. And I actually have a public service booklet that was put out by either the New York City Public Library or New York City, one of the umbrella organizations for promoting New York, that used to do all the Big Apple promotions from the late 60s, early 70s. And it featured Bob Kane and drawings of Batman that he had done, or that he and Bill Finger has done, because as we all know now, Bill Finger was co-creator of Batman and did not get any of the licensing rights until he was long passed on.
Oh, no.
Which is very sad. Oh,
But
you didn't hear that story?
No, I didn't. But I did hear another story. I mean, you've probably heard this too, that Bob Kane was interviewed and he admitted that his inspiration for Batman was a picture from Leonardo da Vinci. It said, if a man is to fly, it shall be on the wings of a bat. And it showed a Batman with a cape and he had the ears and everything. So,
okay. So that drawing of that picture that you saw was actually done by Bill Finger, the original artist who did all the work for Bob Kane under Bob Kane's name as a ghost artist.
Okay.
And Bob Kane's original Batman design was a red unisuit with gym shorts, bat wings, and a domino mask on a blonde-haired gentleman. That was Bob Kane's original design. And if you go back and take it one step further, Bob Kane did a cartoon spoof of Batman and Robin. Do you remember what that was?
Flat Man and Ribbon.
No.
Fat Man and Ribbon.
It was a cartoon, and it featured a cat, an anthropomorphic cat, and an anthropomorphic mouse. And their villain was a frog that spoke like Bugsy Malone. Yeah, you see here, I'm the bad guy. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember the name of the cartoon?
No.
Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse.
Oh, Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse. I vaguely remember that.
Okay,
Yeah.
So Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse were Bob Kane's creation after Batman made his debut. And I think that came out in 1964 also, the animated series. And he put Courageous Cat in the red unisuit that was his original creation.
Oh, okay.
And Bill Finger is the one who changed it and said, you give him a full cowl, put bat ears on him, make his costume a darker color, and give him gloves, because he didn't have gloves in the original incarnation of Bob Kane's Batman. It was just a red unisuit with fleshy hands and looked like he was wearing jogging sneakers or something.
Okay.
So Bill Finger is the one that morphed Batman into what it is today. And he got no credit at all until just the last 5 years now. And Athena Finger, his granddaughter, goes to comic book conventions and tells her grandfather's story.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, it really is. There's actually a book called Batman and Bill that's based off of a documentary that was done by this researcher who was also a comic book fan, who figured out and did all this research that Bill Finger was actually one of the main creators of Batman and not Bob Kane in and of itself.
Well, that's very similar to Walt Disney was not the artist for Mickey Mouse. It was Ub Iwerks.
That's right. That's right. It's amazing.
Yeah, but somewhere in Leonardo da Vinci's sketches was a picture of Batman, really. And it said, if man is to fly, it shall be on the wings of a bat.
Yes, and he did. He stole the bat wings from Leonardo da Vinci's drawing
Yeah.
to put them on his red uni-suited figure to create the Batman.
Wow. Yeah. Incredible. It's a very cool, but I love the, I was so inspired to be a good citizen from watching Batman. I still, I think it was one of the movies where, or one of the shows, it was one of the movie that Batman and Robin did that Adam West and Burt Ward did, where
1968.
they're going to
The
cross
1968 Batman and Robin. Yep.
they're going to cross the street and Batman goes, wait a minute, Robin, jaywalking. Gosh, you're right, Batman. But we'll use the crosswalk.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It was an everyday public service announcement to children our age at that time.
Yeah.
And it was all about doing the good things, doing the good deeds, and keeping the straight and narrow, which is why I have such a very serious need to help people and do good.
Yes.
And I just it's been ingrained in me since the '66 TV show. I was 2 years old.
I know.
And so,
it was a great thing. And, too bad the kids today don't have this. Of course, they could watch reruns if their parents played it a lot. Everybody.
yes, indeed.
Play these old shows. Play this and Gilligan's Island.
Take away the cell phones.
Yeah.
And turn off the TV and take them outside and just play with your kids.
There you go.
Throw a ball, throw a frisbee, ride a bike.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And then before dinner's ready, break down and sit down with the kids and watch an old episode of Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Andre Little is in the house. Hello, Andre Little.
Hey, Andre. Welcome to the show. Yeah.
So
cool as a moose. All right, let's see. What other ones do we have here?
I sent you so many.
I know you did.
I'm sorry for overloading you.
No. Here's a cool little display. So we'll show this one. Get over here and do this. Screen sharing. It's our funnest thing we do. All right, there it is. It looks like you have a bat combo to get into that room.
Yeah, so that's a showcase that's in the corner of my hallway upstairs in my office. And that has the 1970s stylized 2-foot Warner Brothers statue exclusive. That was a Warner Brothers piece. That thing cost me a pretty penny when I was younger. And it is just it's one of the nicest pieces I own that's Adam West-esque. It's not Adam West, but it's based off of Adam West.
Yeah.
So really one of the nicest pieces. It's a 2-foot tall statue. And then I have above it all the little action figures of all different sizes above it on the next shelf, and then the shelf above that. So I did send you some zoomed in close-ups of those shelves as well, if you wanted to get into details.
Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, Batman rocks, man. Nothing like Batman.
And that's the one thing that Michael Uslan stressed the most was, and you and I have already discussed it, anybody could be Batman.
Yeah.
Anybody could be Batman. If you train your body to be physically fit, if you train your mind to be sharp as a tack, if you have the ingenuity to build and design, you don't necessarily need money to do these things, as you and I both know, because we come up with some really unique stuff that we've designed without having a lot of money to do it. But if we had the money, could you imagine the technology we could create?
Did you ever see my super cubes? They're square super balls.
I've wanted to ask you for one of those for the longest time. I've seen you talk about them on a few of your shows, and I absolutely love the concept.
Oh, they're great. My dad built the mold. They're made in America, and they're made out of a very expensive material. And that's why no one else uses this material, because it's so expensive. And but it had a 90% bounce back of all the different natural rubbers or thermoplastic rubbers I tried, because I had to get the bounciest. This was the bounciest by far. So yeah,
So if you were to retail them today, what would it cost?
I would have to check with the molding house that has my mold to see what their cost would be. As you know, oil has gone up and it's all oil based.
Right. Everything's petroleum based now.
I'm almost afraid to ask how much they would be. But yeah, they're more expensive than I would like them to be.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I would love to get my hands on. I would love to get my hands on one.
I'll send you a couple. You have more than one because you're going to lose it, because it always goes to the most inaccessible place when you bounce it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
But
I would love that. That would be awesome.
They float in water, and they're the best eraser you ever used. And they don't really wear out if you use them as a razor. They just get kind of dirty. You got to kind of clean them. So
okay, a little bit of soap and water will take care of that.
Yeah, yeah. And they're indestructible. I had semi trucks run over them. Nothing happens to them.
That's awesome.
My son had a pit bull, and for 2 weeks the thing was like, the muscles of his head were just bulging her head. She finally sawed through it after a week or two, but
that's great.
But otherwise, it's pretty indestructible. I mean, it's hard to even cut them apart with a X-Acto knife. You're gonna hurt yourself if you try. It's really hard to do. So
I wouldn't try. I'd want to just keep playing with it because I like those little fidgety things. I love that.
They're great, and two in your hand is just fun to grip. And then you can play like pitching pennies against the wall. How close to the wall you get it to your buddy, and that'll drive you nuts because it'll always go crazy.
Now, you talk about your creations, and you and I had a nice conversation off air the other day, and you talked about a game that you created. Why don't you tell me about the game? I don't know if everybody in the audience has heard you tell that story. There it is.
Tetragon 2. Tetragon 2. It's a 2-player abstract strategy game. And if you look at the board, it's got diagonals. And this thing right here, the one with the circle on it, there's a piece with a circle on it. You see that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All the red triangles are the possible first moves of that one piece. You can pivot around in the square you're in. You can go diagonal as far as you want to go without hitting someone else. Or you can go forward or sideways one, or even backwards, but there's a guy in your way there. But first one to make 2 complete squares or tetragons out of your pieces wins. But the other player will get one more chance to try and tie it up. But yeah, Tetragon 2, it's a non-violent game of strategic creation. And it was at the Mensa Mind Games event in 2013. So that was a lot.
And that's another thing I need to get my hands on. You have to tell me what I owe you for those, because I'm going to get my hands on a set of those too.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's a great game. You know, when you're showing concepts to companies, you might show them 20 concepts, and they might like 1 or 2 things. Send them in. Yes. We'll look at it for a month and we'll see. Well, every single company I ever showed Tetragon to, they kept it, but nobody ever bought it. And so I thought, this is just too good. I have to get this out. And it was 2011. And of course, there was a lot of doomsdayers out there saying that 2012 was going to be the end of the year. I thought, well, if it's going to be the end of the year, I want to be doing something I want to do. So
that's great.
I started to do that, even though I didn't have any money. I didn't have anything. And it took me 1.5 years to get it published, to get it out. And I was selling at every store they were selling, and it was just awesome that I got an immense of mind games, and it was fantastic. But it's hard. You have to teach everybody how to play your game because nobody knows how to play.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it is to being able to tell people, teach people how to play the game, so that once they learn, it's committed to memory, and then it's a matter of how you're going to beat your next opponent.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like Sorry, where you push a little button and the dice pops up a different color each time.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm. I played chess once on a beach with rocks in the sand with my friend. So you mean once you have it in your head, you don't need anything.
Absolutely. Exactly.
And the way
That's awesome.
the way that game came to me, it just kind of fell out of my head. And it's usually a very difficult thing to think of a game, but this just fell out, and it worked. And I was just blown away by how easy it just fell out of my head. Makes me think that this game existed before, and one.
Aaron, you froze. There you are. You're back. Okay. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
There he is. Now you're moving.
There you go. Okay. So you cut out. We lost you there for a second.
Yeah.
So you started saying that it just fell out of your head, and that it makes you think that this game existed somewhere before in time, and
it just came through me. I wanted to come back. Maybe, I don't know. I've never experienced a game coming that quickly to me, and being perfect. I mean, I think I had to tweak one of the rules. I'm like, whoa, this is weird. And it only takes like 5 minutes to play. So you could do a whole tournament of tetragons in the time it takes to play one game of chess. And
that's amazing.
I was, so I'd go and do demos all over at Mall of America and all these different places. And 3 times a 4-year-old girl, 3 different 4-year-old girls beat me their very first time playing. But
that's great.
I was kind of helping one of them, so maybe only 2 of them beat me. Okay. Yeah, but
I guess they were thinking outside the box.
you can't have any ego because these kids are so smart. They're so smart. Yes. It's amazing how smart they are. But
absolutely,
just because I invented it doesn't mean I'm good at playing it, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there was a time.
What is my phone doing?
Uh-oh.
My phone is trying to link to my Roku.
Oh, really?
In my studio, I have a small little digital TV set, one of those smart TVs, I guess they're called, and it's linked to my Roku, and it keeps sending a signal to my cell phone, trying to connect.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So the chat's been going off about a dog toy called the Kong, which I know very well, being in the animal industry.
Oh, yeah.
My father actually used to sell the Kongs, and then the Kong toy got bought up by Nylabone, or Nylabone got bought up by the Kong company. One or the other. I don't know. Nylabone was its own independent company, and the Kong was its own independent company, and then one of them bought the other one. Now they're all under one auspices.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You started.
I do have a dog toy story about Adam Hassenfeld.
Oh, okay. Alan
Hassenfeld. I'm sorry. I said Adam. I'm thinking Adam West, Alan Hassenfeld. I used to go to Toy Fair and bring my custom mock-ups to show Alan Hassenfeld of Hasbro Toys. For those who don't know, Hassenfeld is the actual last name of the family that owns Hasbro Toys. It was the Hassenfeld brothers, and they called it Hasbro Toys. And then they went and they bought Kenner, and they bought Galoob, and they bought not Fisher Price Play School, and all the Tonka. They bought all these smaller companies. They just gobbled them up. So Hasbro became this big corporation. But the family is still running the company, and Alan Hassenfeld is the grandson of the original Hassenfeld brothers. And he and I became friends by my attending Toy Fair, and I would bring him prototypes that I designed to see if he would be interested in buying them from me. And he asked me what I did for a living one day, and I pulled out my business card and I handed it to him from my family business. And he was like, wow, a pet hotel. That's really interesting. You know, I've had this design concept for dog toys for a really long time. And we had this huge conversation with him about dog toys. And he released a series of dog toys to Toys R Us as an exclusive.
Wow.
Only problem was they were toys that were too advanced for dogs, and they were meant more for children of a younger age. And they were stuffed, they were plush style toys that were geometric figures, and you could kind of, do you remember the little how do I describe it? It had donut rings of different sizes going from larger to smaller.
Sure, yeah.
And then there was a little yellow spindle on a wobbly base, and you had to stack them on, a child's toy. Well, he did something very similar to that with a dog toy, and it didn't quite come out as well as he had hoped. He didn't consult me on it, because had he consulted with me on it, I would have given him some other pointers that probably would have helped him make them more successful. But unfortunately, the line did not do very well, and he sold them in toy stores instead of in Pet Supplies Plus, PetSmart, or Pet Store. He tried to do a dog toy section inside Toys R Us, and unfortunately, it did not bode as well as he had hoped.
That's too bad.
That's my Alan Hassenfeld dog toy story.
That's an interesting story. You know, when I worked at Hasbro back in the early 80s, Stephen Hassenfeld was still around. And so was Stephen and Alan. And so Stephen...
That was Stephen's... Stephen was Alan's cousin or brother?
Brother.
Okay, Stephen was the brother.
Go ahead. Brothers, yeah. And Stephen was largely credited with growing Hasbro into the $1 billion, the first toy company to break $1 billion. When I was there, they were the first toy company to break $1 billion. And then, as you know, he died of AIDS. Now, way before that happened, when I worked at Hasbro in 83, 84, around that time, 82, 83, 84, we were the first company, Hasbro was the first company to do AIDS awareness in the company.
Wow.
Because someone got a blood transfusion and they had AIDS, and so they wanted to, break the myths of, you can't touch the person or anything like that. It's
right.
So it was very, very interesting, very sad when he passed away. And then a lot of people thought that Hasbro was going to go under because Stephen, the mastermind, was gone. But after a few years, people decided, well, I guess Stephen Allen proofed it. Allen.
That's funny.
But they were originally a pencil manufacturer. They made pencil boxes, and then their first foray into toys was a licensed pencil box. And then when that went over big, they went, wow, let's try something else. And they said, well, how about Mr. Potato Head? But they used a real potato. I remember those when I was a kid. Right.
What you would get was a box of accessories to push into a real potato.
Right. A great idea. I mean, it's a great idea.
And think about Slinky, how Slinky even came about.
Oh, yeah.
It was a spring. It was a spring that became the toy, or the pie tin that became the Frisbee.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing how many utilitarian products on a daily basis have then been turned into a child's toy. That's
Yes.
phenomenal.
And there was a little Filipino boy in New York. He was a elevator boy in a big building in New York City, and he's from the Philippines, and he was playing with a yo-yo, and a guy, Mr. Duncan, walks in and goes, "What is that, young man?" He says, "Oh, we use them back in home to kill birds with. They can kill birds like close by." And
Right, they would swing it out, hit it like a boomerang almost,
yeah,
but it was on a string.
yeah. So he bought it from the kid and developed the Duncan yo-yo. And
That's
you
wild.
mentioned the Frisbee. The Frisbee is a great story because the inventor of the Frisbee, he invented this disc that you throw, but he called it the Pluto platter. Have you heard this story?
No.
He called it the Pluto platter because, Pluto was big in the news because of the planet. But anyway, so he went to universities across the country to test out this Pluto platter. And so he was at this, I don't know, someplace, maybe on the East Coast, perhaps, wherever Frisbee pie tins were. And
Right.
he gave the Pluto platters to the kids to throw. And when they threw them, they said, "Frisbee, Frisbee." Whenever they threw it, they said Frisbee. He said, why are you saying that? They said, "Well, because there's this pie tin company, and the pie tins fly really well. But when you throw it, you have to say Frisbee because here's a metal thing coming fast towards somebody."
That's great.
Warn them. And so he thought, wow, that's a good name. He changed the spelling and stole it and adopted that name because it was just a much better name than the Pluto platter.
And now they have Frisbee tournaments all over the world. It's amazing.
Incredible. It's incredible. It's a wonderful, and the hula hoop. And the Super Soaker came out. The first year the Super Soaker came out, it was a bomb. They didn't sell. You know why? They weren't called Super Soakers yet. They were called the Power Drencher. And they put it out and no one bought it. It was a bomb. But they believed in it. They said, "Hey, we got to give this another chance. Let's give it a new name, the Super Soaker." And then blam, it went. So you just never know. It's timing.
Wow.
Timing and little tweaks. You never know what's going to be the big hit.
That's it. It's true. It's true. It's amazing how things evolve and become something else. It's just incredible. I mean, think about the concept of Mr. Potato Head alone. I mean, you take these accessories, you take a potato, a spud, you go into your mom's cupboard and you pick out a spud and you start poking these plastic bits into it and you've got a face. It's just like,
fun.
It's amazing. Yeah, it was. You could then take the potato when you were done, give it to mom, she'd peel it, cook it, eat it. You'd eat Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
A little bit of sour cream, a little bit of chives.
Yeah. Bacon bits.
Bacon bits.
Bacos.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I stopped eating Bacos when I found out that the main product in Bacos is soy. And soy contains very severe high concentrate of estrogen.
Estrogen, yeah.
And it was funny story. My kids are lactose intolerant. I have 5 kids, 2 grandkids, a third one due any day now. God willing soon. Thank you. And
me too.
Congratulations. Okay. Mazel tov, as we say. Mazel. So they didn't have oat milk yet. They didn't have almond milk yet. They only had soy milk as a substitute. So we were drinking a lot of soy milk in our house because the kids were all allergic to milk products of any kind.
Right.
So I grew up on sour cream with my grandparents. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and it was always sour cream and bananas or sour cream on your baked potatoes, and everything was, cottage cheese, cream cheese, sour cream, everything was milk product. I have no problem with it. But my kids did. So we switched to a soy product, soy milk. And one day I'm sitting and I'm watching TV with the family, and we're watching this stupid TV commercial about families and their telephones, and they're calling their family abroad, and they're speaking to their family abroad for the first time in years. And all of a sudden I started crying. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? I had drank too much of that soy milk that I wound up getting emotionally, debilitated by watching a friggin' commercial.
Wow.
And when I realized what it was, I cut out all soy product from my diet. And that's got to be, let's see, my kids are now all grown up. There's only one left in the house. That's got to be 20 years ago. 20 years ago, easy. And I since that, I cut off all soy products. I literally read labels now. If anything has soy in it, I won't buy it.
I know.
Skippy peanut butter. Skippy peanut butter now uses soy.
Whoa, really?
I'm telling you, they have started putting soy product into everything we eat because they're trying to emasculate the population.
Wow.
And I don't want to tangent off. I didn't want to go down that truth quest, the truth quest hole, but this is the Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty, is it not?
Yes, it is. And that's why we're talking about Batman, so we can reinfuse some more male testosterone into people's lives. We're the protectors. We are the ones that make people feel safe and give you a safe space. That's
it. And the chat is all laughing at me, calling me a soy boy. I was a soy boy, I guess, back then. It was sad.
So when you
pathetic.
When you stopped eating the soy, did you also then stop bringing the pink handbag to work with you? Just curious.
Yeah, actually, mine was fuchsia. Maybe that's why I like my blacklight studio.
Yeah, that's cool.
If you turn out all my lights, I have a lot of black lights here in my studio, so that everything glows. I have a five bulb lantern that has all my black lights on it for my blacklight posters.
Nice.
My neon
bat fight
stuff that I picked up. Yeah, that's a great poster. Actually, it's a piece of art that I picked up from a comic book convention. That's the same comic book convention that I was at last. Hold on one second here. Let me see if I can get that. Give me 1 second. I have to unplug my phone. No. I'm not going to drop out of the meeting. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Wow.
So this is a blacklight poster that was designed by a gentleman who was a huge fan of Batman. And so it's got the bat fight going on.
Uh-huh.
It's got live TV Adam West as the guest referee of the Batgirl fight. And so you've got Batgirl versus a different Batgirl. And of course, they've got the 66 Batmobile in there.
Sure.
And then each one of the villains is an old 60s, 70s wrestler.
Oh, cool.
So they did Baron von Raschke as Penguin.
Baron von
Raschke. Thank you, Baron von Raschke. They did the French Angel as the Riddler. They did one of my all-time favorites, George the Animal Steel as Mr. Freeze with his purple tongue, and Ric Flair as the Joker.
Wow.
So this was a piece of art that was at one of the Comic-Cons last year, and I just couldn't resist.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then this one is a piece of art that I got from.
Wow.
Let me see if I can.
For the bat.
It's Batman in his Bat Cave.
Awesome.
And then I have my Batman Adam West mask here.
Cool.
I have one of my bat hats up here with all my Batman pins on it.
Nice.
I have my glow-in-the-dark Batman pop Funko Pop.
Okay.
And come up here, I've got my Gotham City baseball cap with Batman looking like he's getting it on with somebody. Could be Catwoman before her costume. So I've got, my uncle had given me one of the animated cells
Oh, nice. Look at that.
from the 70s Batman cartoon.
That's nice.
That's
a nice
Batman
one.
and Alfred.
That's a good one. I like
Then
that.
down here, I have Batman and Robin smoking cigarettes.
What?
It's an artist's rendering of Batman and Robin smoking cigarettes.
Well, for me, I'm going to say they were candy cigarettes.
That's it, candy cigarettes. And this is actually a light that a friend of mine had given me. It's the Justice League, and the artwork is done by Alex Ross. Alex Ross is a phenomenal artist for DC Comics.
Okay, yeah, it looks like it.
That does some great work. And then above it is just a picture of me and my dad. God rest his soul. He passed away Thanksgiving of 2020. And that's me wearing one of my Batman shirts.
Wow.
I have multiple. I have way more Batman shirts than anybody.
I bet.
But,
wow. That's
yeah.
Cool. Well,
And then this piece up here.
Sorry to hear about
this piece up here. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's the Batman the Animated Series poster. It's a cardboard framed poster with a neon light running through it.
Cool. That's really cool.
And in the shape of his cape. So
yeah.
I have a great deal of different Batman artworks in my studio. I have, the Zach plastic plate from one of the kids' platewares. And then this is a takeoff on Adam West as The Dark Knight Returns with Robin. And then, of course, we've got a large-sized Batman Imaginext figure.
Okay.
We've got the newest Batman, or Patman, as I like to call him. Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Okay.
And just in front of that is the unmasked version of Robert Pattinson. And then a bunch of other little caricatures and figures and things. But I've been collecting Batman for well over 50 years now, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff here in my studio that I've been collecting. And there we are again on my computer screen. Let's see if I can turn this around. There we go.
All right.
So, yeah, Aaron, we could talk Batman all night long.
We could.
There goes. I accidentally thumbed my. But yeah, I've got so many different pieces of Batman memorabilia, from toys to artwork to models to prototypes. I sent you a couple of pictures of prototypes or the pre-painted figures that were in that showcase that shows the figures in the different stages of production.
Let me see if I can find that. Different stages of production. I'll have to dig for it. Different stages of production.
So Peggy Dancer is out there putting out some truth bombs that people are going to freak out when they find out that WWE is very involved with the 17 movement, the letter that it corresponds to number 17.
Oh, really?
And President Trump.
So that's interesting. So I'm looking for something with gray figures.
Yes, gray or flesh toned. There's a bunch of them that are out there.
These thumbnails are so small.
I'm sorry, brother. I should have sent you less.
No, wait a minute. Okay, I think
sent you less.
Let me see. There's a bunch more Batmans. We saw that. There was a different email, I guess.
I don't know. There's a bunch of them out there. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. Brain.
Too bright.
Oh, it must be on here somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Was
all
it
right.
the first set of stuff that you? No, that's not in that batch of stuff.
No, it would have been in the last batch with like 30 other images I sent you at once.
30 other images. Oh,
Channel 4VKM or Vince Kennedy McMahon here on YouTube. Ooh, 4VKM, Vince Kennedy McMahon.
oh,
Wow. There's a YouTube channel called 4VKM, which stands for Vince Kennedy. I did not know Vince McMahon's middle name was Kennedy.
hmm.
Wow. Peggy Dancer, girl, you just blew my mind.
I can't seem to find the other. Wait a minute. Here's this one. Nope. Um, I haven't had this Gmail for very long. I just can't stand Gmail. I don't understand. It's just not very. I don't know.
That's all right.
I'm not.
Don't worry about it.
I can't find it.
Don't worry about it.
I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. No, don't look. I overloaded you with so many images and I didn't label them, which is my fault because I was just trying to get the pictures to you before I had to leave the office today to come home to the studio so we could do the show.
No problem. I think I showed most of the pictures that you sent.
Yeah, that's fine.
I could not find it. I'm sorry about that. I couldn't find where those.
Don't be sorry, Aaron. Look, we could always save those for another show, another time.
They show you this picture of.
I love Time Max.
Very Batman influenced.
Yeah, tell everybody in the audience what you did, what that's about.
Okay. Actually, I had a dream. I had a dream many, many years ago. And in my dream, I was a toy designer and a video game designer. Now, in real life, I'm not a video game designer, but in my dream, I was.
Okay.
In the near future, and I had a nagging wife. I had this dream while I was still married. So, but so I was working on this project, on this action figure that you could play, that was also a wristwatch that you could play a video game on.
Okay.
And I was not very well funded, let's just say, and the bank came and took all my computers. I took my last little bit of money and bought this wristwatch calculator computer watch that was the first product on the market that was antimatter powered. But it didn't seem to have enough memory, so I went inside it and I released the governor, and that gave it ultra power. So when I loaded my video games into it, one was a time travel game and one was a teleportation game. When I set it to send the figure to another place, it disappeared. Actually, I sent it to New Alcatraz, which is a penal colony on the moon. This is in the future. And it ends up in Eric Thorne's, the evil Eric Thorne's cell. He gets it, straps it on, he starts time traveling. And I'm like back in my studio going, uh-oh, what the heck happened? Did it disintegrate or did it go somewhere? So I strapped it to my arm with a piece of metal. I strapped it to my arm and I set it for a block away. Boom, I was transported a block away, but I had a couple broken bones. So I knew I had to make this suit, this containment suit, so that I wouldn't break bones when I teleported. So what happens is this bad guy goes all back and forth through time, building a team, and I do too. He picks his team members from anywhere. I pick mine, people who are about to die. I give them a choice. Look, timeline says you die here, or you can join my team fighting the bad guys. And that's how we built the team. And here are
Wow.
the action figures for the good guys and the bad guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you actually designed the suit too. You actually have a full-blown suit.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the bad guy, Eric Thorne. He's pretty evil. This is one of the, this is, oh, you can't see him because he's green, but he's a reptilian that,
There you go.
he was a bipedal reptilian with an opposing thumb that was killed off in the dinosaur kill off, and he joins the evil team to reap revenge on the planet that killed his people. So
Wow. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And you have a series of stories that you've created around these characters.
yeah, it's pretty epic. It goes all through time. So you get spaceships, dinosaurs, you name it. And Ridley Scott came this close to doing the movie, to agreeing to do the movie. And
Yeah, you said that.
yeah, that would have changed my life a lot. You know, but
Well, I'll put you in touch with Michael Uslin's publicist, and you can get a hold of her and see if she can get a hold of him and sell your idea to him.
that would be cool.
All
They
right.
but the world needs a new superhero, you know?
Absolutely. And Time Max is an original creation. It's not some spoof of something else.
Right. It was a dream. It was so realistic too. And it was freaky. So yeah, that's
Hey, Aaron, let me ask you a question.
okay.
Do you think that somebody's actually sending you these images or these messages or these dreams from beyond our atmosphere?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Because your whole premise for your show and the things that you talk about, and Deplora Laura, hello to you too, my dear. You've got such a unique talent, and you've got such a broad range of talents, and your creativity is just boundless. And you come up with some really amazing stuff
Thank
that
you.
if you just had the right person backing you,
I know it, right?
you'd be rolling in Bruce Wayne's money.
Yeah. Here's what I'm working on. I'm just working on it. It's not done yet. That's me with my cowl trying to figure out how it goes on. Yeah.
You really need to get these ideas into the right people. It's amazing. Like that game. I don't know why it's not more than it is.
Well, you know why? I discovered why it because it's the category. And I was told that by other toy companies and game companies. It's an abstract strategy game. You know, board games are vastly popular, except abstract strategy games.
So would Othello be considered an abstract?
Yes, in fact, that was one of my inspirations for this. My inspirations were checkers, chess, Othello, Pente, and Go. Those were the games that I wanted to create something as cool as that, but not by copying.
Right.
And
Right.
so, yeah, I actually got a call.
It's almost.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You actually got a call
from Joseph Haber, one of the Mensa members that played my game in 2013, Mensa Mind Games. And he wanted to personally thank me for sending Tetragon 2 because he said, your game is truly a new and unique kind of abstract strategy game. He goes, we just don't see that here. We see remakes of Rummy, you know.
Right.
We don't see, so it was a breath of fresh air, and he thanked me. I said, well, thanks. That's awesome. So yeah.
That's amazing. It's amazing because your game is very reminiscent of almost like tic-tac-toe or Connect Four or Othello or like
Yeah.
you said. It's those types of games, but it's unique unto itself, and that you're using your shapes and designs to create the tetragon. And like you said, it's a fast game. They go
Hmm.
quick.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
those are the types of games that, in today's day and age would probably do very well, because everything is,
Oh
you
yeah.
can't make a video for somebody who's literally watching TikTok, 30-second, 60-second, 1-minute videos, gone, you're done.
Hmm.
And they move on to the next one.
Right.
That's why with Nerds in a Bar, we've tried to keep our review shots to under 3 minutes,
Hmm.
our barrel age segments to under 5 minutes, or our out of the cellar under 10 minutes. And we try and keep our interview videos to segments less than or as close to 10 minutes as possible. We don't like them going over 10 minutes because people's attention spans are gone. Everybody today, anybody who's 20 and younger, is now suffering from ADD or cell phone addiction.
Hmm.
Everything's split second, split second, split second, moving 100 miles an hour. It's
Yes.
just amazing. And
Um,
your game would fit right in with that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great game. I haven't played it in a while. I live by myself, so I don't really get the chance to play games too much. But I would like to. That'd be fun. But maybe I got to go demo some more.
If
But
you were to be able to digitize that game and put it on your show, if you were to come over to the Foxhole family, you
mhm,
could then have a Tetragon night and play games with your audience.
that would be great. I would love that. Um, I had a friend that was working on an app for it, but I don't know whatever happened to that. I have to talk to him again um,
You
to see.
definitely should, because if you could take the app and turn it into a digitized, have it coded properly, you
Mhm.
could put it out on the
Foxhole.
Foxhole, and you would be able to you'd
That would
be
be
able
cool.
to play that game with the chatters,
That
with
would be
our audience.
I would love that. And Deplora Laura's in the house. Hello, Deplora Laura. Good to see you here.
Yeah, I said hello to Deplora Laura earlier. I saw her
Oh,
out there.
yeah. We got the best chat, and yeah, it's been voted the best chat on the internet. I
There
took a
you go.
survey. I
Whoops.
took a survey. I asked me, myself, and I, and we all were totally, totally convinced. There's a there was a restaurant in Phoenix called Durant's Restaurant, and there was a big
Okay.
billboard. Durant's best food in Phoenix, signed Jack Durant.
There's no better promotion than self-promotion.
That's right. That's true. And so everyone go over to the Three Beermen and Three Beermen and the your other
Nerds
one,
in a bar.
Nerds in a Bar. Go sign
Nerds
up.
in a bar and Three Beer Men.
Nerds in a Bar on YouTube and the other one on the Foxhole. So go sign up and be a follower of his. And is there anything else that you want to promote? What's the name of your
I do.
hotel? Your hotel.
Oh, I've been very, very leery to dox that
Oh, that's
part of
okay.
me,
All right.
because I work from two different levels. I have to stay with my public persona as Nerds in a Bar. I can't intermix with my public persona on Three Beermen, although
Oh.
I do promote Nerds in a Bar on Three Beermen.
Mhm.
My partner on Nerds in a Bar is very adamant about us staying core to the non-political aspect of just focus on pop culture toys and collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to my business, my personal business, I don't talk about it here on my pop culture channels,
Mm-hmm.
but it's out in Long Island. And if anybody really wants to know more about it, they can contact me personally through pilled.net, through my DM. I am listed in the DM as The Batman. So you guys can find me under The Batman in pilled.net. And that's my private messaging service. And I just threw, Floyd, my brother Floyd Stantifer is in the house. Floyd is one of our fellow podcasters on the Foxhole.
Hi, Floyd.
So Floyd goes by the name of Due Diligence. And I hope I didn't dox him.
I know him, yeah. Due Diligence.
Yes, so Due Diligence is in the house. Good to see you out there, brother Floyd. Mwah. Much love to you and the family. Very cool. Very cool.
Yes, very cool indeed.
So, but yeah, it's 3beermen.tv. I'll put that in the chats as well.
Okay.
TV. And I'm not a mod on your channel, so I don't know if it's going to show up.
Oh, I could probably make you a mod.
Oh, that would be nice.
Let me see. Hold on a second. Yeah, do this one thing here. Do a little. I have to change this.
See, right after the new movie, The Batman, came out, I changed my username on the Foxhole from Bruce Q. Wayne to The Batman. I still have both accounts, but I use mostly The Batman now when I'm out in the chats or I'm out talking with people. But I still have Bruce Wayne as my main account here on YouTube. So if anybody wants to find me, they can find me on Nerds in a Bar, and I go by Batman Mark on Nerds in a Bar because that's as much doxing as I'll do.
Okay, all right.
But it's good to have these outlets because in today's day and age, TV sucks.
Oh yeah.
I'm tired of all the craziness that's out there, and I need to chillax and relax and get into a fun mode and a fun zone.
Yes.
So I enjoy doing that with the Nerds in the Bar and the 3beermen because we don't really talk politics.
That's
we
great.
like to have fun, talk about beer and pop culture.
That's good. And TV is just a cesspool these days. And I haven't watched television. I haven't had TV since way back before the turn of the century, back in the 90s, late 90s.
Wow.
I was living in this house, and I had my landlord lived right next to me. He got Dish Network, and all of a sudden my antenna didn't work anymore. And so I said, "Hey Ray, my antenna's not working." He climbed up on a house and he tried to fix it. It didn't fix it, and I didn't want to make him do it again. So I thought, maybe I'm just not supposed to watch TV. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I've really missed out on a lot of dead brain cells. Yeah.
Well, good for you, brother. Good for you. You know when I turned off TV?
When?
The night politics became everything. November 4th.
Mm.
The night of the election.
Oh yeah.
November 4th.
Terrible.
As soon as the Fox, not the Foxhole, but Fox Network declared Biden the winner in Arizona before 11 o'clock Eastern time, the polls hadn't even closed yet, and they called Arizona for Biden, was the day I turned off my TV and never went back.
Good for you.
I canceled my cable subscription.
Yeah.
Now I shall not tell a lie. I still have my HBO Max and I hate to say it, Disney Plus, but I need that for my Nerds in a Bar.
Okay.
I need to be able to watch my Marvel and I need to be able to watch my DC Comics stuff.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I have those two channels on my Roku. That's it. But I haven't watched public access or cable TV since November 4th, 2 years ago.
That's great. I just put something in the chat here. It's this video on a BitChute. They're called The Guardians of the Looking Glass. Have you heard about this, Bruce?
No, I just
You
clicked
got it.
on it.
You got to check it out. They've got 3 videos so far. They claim they have this device called the Looking Glass, which Q mentioned is real.
Yes.
Looking forward to look back. So they noticed that these people, there's a moderate sized group that are a secret group that know this intelligence. They've studied this looking glass. There's 2 timelines possible that are going to happen in 2030. And there's like 71 events that need to be thwarted by us sharing these videos. So share them far and wide, because it's going to be a false flag
event.
FF, I should say, FF, sorry.
An FF event.
Times Square, van, large van, and it's going to be in or near Times Square. If it does not get prevented, 2,000 people will not have a good day that day. But worse yet, the administration will come out with some phony evidence that says Russia did it. Then they're going to attack. They're going to attack Russia in all of the places outside of the country of Russia, and it's going to be merciless. And the world's going to go, whoa, that's a little bit too harsh. And people started to question the evidence. And that's when the administration launched another FF, which is Thrax-An reverse.
Yeah. Wow.
836, which was developed and destroyed by Russia. It was all destroyed, but some Western evil people got away with some of that. They've been developing it in US-run biolabs so that the signature will come back to Russia. And then the Biden administration launches a full nuclear attack.
Oh my God.
And
oh my God.
This time the Russians don't hold back on retaliating, and we are destroyed. So this is, listen to these. I don't know if this is true or not. It could be a LARP. It sounds legit. So everyone share this out as much as you can. Be Batman.
I appreciate that.
Use your Bat computer. Tell people about this. There's 3 videos now. It's
wow.
There's 2 different timelines. One a very dark timeline and one a very good timeline. In the good timeline, in both timelines, something happens in 2030. It's a natural solar system event, which I think is the solar flash.
Okay.
If we prevent all of these 71 things, we'll get the good timeline, and it'll be a glorious thing when this happens, and we'll get upgrades. We'll be able to read minds. We'll be able to live longer, look younger, have all these.
Wow.
You won't need to eat, but you still can if you want to. And the people who got the JAB with the graphene, the oxide graphene, that is pushed by the purveyors of this stuff in the dark timeline to get everybody, because what happens in the solar flash is if you have this in your body, it not only annihilates you physically, it also retunes your soul to the dark side. So it's their insidious way.
Wow.
Yeah, it's next level evil, but we have a chance to get that good timeline. So if this is true, we have till the 18th. Something's going to happen. And
Well, they're saying April 18th this month,
yes,
which is
yes,
also coinciding. Isn't it coinciding with Easter?
it might be. Same day, A.D. Cochran died.
Easter. That's Easter Monday. That's Easter Monday. The 18th of April is Easter Monday. Wow.
So I don't know if this is true or not, but if it's true, we need to do something. Share this out. They said by sharing it out, if the word gets out that it's going to happen, they won't do it. They won't do it. They'll think of something else. Yeah, it's
That's wild.
yeah, it's man. If it gets you too depressed, just think about the good timeline and let's shoot for that. Because
Right. Absolutely. I'm pasting it in a note page on my phone, and I'll share that out with my Foxhole family.
awesome.
There's a show that I've been helping support, two shows that I've been helping to support early mornings on the Foxhole, called the Lyanna Wilbert Show. Well, it's actually TNA variety show. It's the Trump TNA Trump and forgot how she puts it. Trump and Associates variety show, but it's Lyanna L.
I love it.
TNA.
That's
Yep,
fun.
TNA, and it's Lyanna L. Wilbert's channel. LIANNA Wilbert, Lyanna L. Wilbert, and she does a news show every morning on the Foxhole from 9 a.m. Big Apple time, which would be 6 a.m. avocado time. If you were to want to catch up on some really dark, crazy stuff, she covers a lot of stuff going on with devolution, and really, she follows Pete Gunnels, and she usually shows his videos on her show when he puts out new shows. So that's every morning, Monday through Friday on the Foxhole.
Wow.
Anybody out there? It's Lyanna L. Wilbert.
Okay.
And I should try to see if I can get back into the.
Methods has a coffee in the morning show too, doesn't he?
Who does?
Methods?
Methods. Unfortunately, our beloved cult leader is not well.
Oh no.
He's been severely under the weather. I haven't heard anything new about his status as of yet, but he has been off the air now for about 2.5 weeks.
Oh my goodness. Well, everyone send your prayers to Methods to Madness.
That's it. Methods to Madness. That's right.
Send your prayers out to him. He's incredible patriot. He helped the Foxhole get established there. He did a lot of work on that. And he's wow. He's in Zoso Dude's intro, so there you go.
That's right. He is in Zoso Dude's intro. They're saying we've been getting some echoing, and they don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah,
I've muted all my streams, so I don't know if we're still getting the echoes. Only Aaron echoes, so probably Bruce IMHO. Sorry, James Roebuck. Don't know IMHO.
Yeah, I can hear my voice coming through yours a little bit sometimes. Maybe my volume's too far high. I turn my volume down. There.
Okay.
That might work. Well, maybe we should wrap this baby up in a big bat cape and call it an evening.
I think so. I actually had a wonderful time hanging out and chatting with you tonight, Aaron. Thank you so much for this invitation. I greatly appreciate it. You are an amazing host, and we need to keep in touch more, please.
Yes, we will. It was great and grand And everybody out there, use your bat computer to help solve crimes and be a good citizen, because that's what Batman would want.
Absolutely. Very
Because
good. All right.
we're all Batman and Batwoman.
That's
in our
it.
way. All right.
That's it.
Thank you to all the people in the chat, and thank you to James Rohrback for the super chat. Really appreciate that. And Mud Rabbit and Catherine Weiss and Dark Brain, all of our mods. Thank you so very much. And don't forget to show this man some love. Go over there, the Nerds in a Bar and the Three Beermen. Give him a follow and show him some love. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Remember to keep your cameras to the sky so you can take a picture of that UFO. So you can come on the Truth Quest and talk about it. Until then, peace in.
God bless everybody. Peace in.